to this world of peril? Is it as simple as the devolution of American influence and power in the world, or is it something different?
That is certainly part of it. You have the strategic contraction of the United States. We were the glue holding the global system together. So we are no less powerful. Our economy is no less innovative. Our growth is really strong. But in terms of a global factor in places like Latin America, Africa, other parts of the world, we are in strategic contraction, and China has been in strategic growth. But China, though it's becoming more present in different parts of the world, it doesn't have the credibility to lead and be the glue to hold the global situation together either. So I think we're at a fourth inflection point since World War I. There was a period after World War I, period after World War II, period after the Cold War. And if you look at the period after World War I, we just got it wrong. We went into isolationism. After World War I, we made all the wrong decisions, and we ended up with World War II and the Holocaust of millions of dead. World War II, we got it right. We built international institutions, the United Nations, NATO, the European Coal and Steel Community, the Bretton Woods system. We're at that major of an inflection point in history now. And will we choose the post-World War I path or the post-World War II path? CEOs and businesses have a lot of stake in whether the global system that we've built after World War II, that we continue to build upon after the Cold War, stays intact or comes unraveled.
Couple of quick questions as we wrap up here. The question number one is this. Our adversaries basically, it seems to me, are China, Iran, Russia, and maybe North Korea. Are they acting in concert, or are they pursuing individual national interests?
So, Tyler, have you been listening to my phone calls, reading my emails? I'm spending a lot of time talking to U.S. officials about this. I have friends in the intelligence community I'm talking to about this. There is no doubt that if you look at North Korea, Iran, China, Russia, these are the autocratic systems, autocratic countries that are working more closely together than I've ever seen before, bilaterally. So Iran is closer to Russia, providing it drones for its war in Ukraine. Russia is arming the Iranians, helping also through the Iranians, even Hamas. So this is interconnected. I don't think they're sitting, in fact, I'm told they're not sitting in a room right now plotting against the United States. But what the intelligence system is seeing is closer bilateral relationships. And all of them agree on one thing. They want the U.S. taken down a few notches. They don't want the U.S. to run the global system any longer. So they're unified. But they're not sitting in a room plotting against us. But what we aren't is we're not unified enough with our allies to take on that danger. And that's what we have to do.
So as we look at the pressure points in the world today, some of those pressure points have come all the way over the boil in Ukraine, in Israel. I sense from what I have read of what you have been writing that your anticipated greatest peril would be a Chinese move against Taiwan, and that would have the greatest global economic value, economic impact, and the greatest danger, and has the potential not only to create a great conflagration militarily, but literally a depression. Talk to me about that.
I think it would be a depression, certainly recession, depression in the United States, maybe in the world economy. So let's look at two grades of China risk. The de-risking that everyone needs to do now in their supply chains, certainly it's happening from the West. Western companies saying, I can't rely entirely on China, I have to take it somewhere else. That increases your costs. Well, China is de-risking as well. And so it's not just your company making decisions, it's China saying, I'm going to replace you because and particularly in technology fields where they're going to try to get ahead. The violent scenario around Taiwan would be the worst case. Russia was bad, but Russia was not so systemic in the world economy, not so integrated in the world economy. If something goes south on China, then almost every company on earth, certainly you have in Germany, Some companies are getting 50, 60% of their revenue, auto companies, BASF, others, out of China. And so it would be the biggest risk. But don't let go of looking at Russia and Ukraine, because if we don't support Ukraine in the right way, the Chinese can take the message from that the U.S. is not there, the U.S. won't respond, and this may actually encourage them, and maybe encourage them also to miscalculate in Taiwan. To me, this is always the greatest danger in geopolitics, is two powers not talking to each other well enough, one of them miscalculating and ending up in a conflict that nobody wanted to get into in the first place.